Hello, I'm Mary V. Today, let's have a look at the bowing arm. So today, let's have a look not at bowing strokes, but at the arm itself to make sure that everything's working and helping you to make smooth strokes. So something I see quite a lot is when the elbow is quite low and it causes the wrist to be very curved like this. See quite a lot of that, especially with beginners. And if it's too much, if the elbow is drawn in towards the body too much, it sort of breaks the continuity and the flow that should happen up and down the arm. So you need to go to a mirror and have a look at the dynamic between the angle of the bow and the angle of your arm, and see if it's more or less parallel. And then the forearm here and moving up to the wrist and the back of the hand are more or less in a straight line as well, with quite a lot of movement of the wrist, obviously. So that's the most natural way, with a couple of differences. For example, I'm a small person, only 5'1", I think, and I've got narrow shoulders, and it does help me to have quite a high arm. It gives me a little bit more strength and ability to come over the violin more. Now, if you're a larger person with quite wide shoulders, you might be more comfortable with a slightly lower arm. You know, it really depends on your build and how effective you're being. But one way to find out where the correct elbow position is and upper arm position is an exercise like this. So you draw the bow above the string like this. So you just do that at the heel, and then you lift your arm that's too high, okay, and then try and do it. And you'll see it's harder to get the correct attack, really. Now put your arm too low. You might find that a bit easier, actually. I mean, this is very awkward feeling. And then too low. And you'll see that there's a tremendous strain when it's too low put on the fourth finger there. It has to take far too much weight. So it means that the hand and the fingers are starting to be unbalanced. So that's one way to find out what's happening with your actual arm and the position of your elbow, whether it's too high or too low. And in fact, it's a great exercise if you can do this. Just put your bow on the string and do that, right? So that rather than every time you bow, you're thinking about the contact point, you're shifting your awareness to the actual arm and having a look at it, right? So that's why do very, very simple bow strokes. You see, the flexibility is really lost if it's absolutely straight like that. The flexibility is lost in both the wrist and the fingers when the arm is like that. So the next exercise is, from your hand being at your side, bring the bow up to the violin like that. And then have a good look at it in the mirror. What does it look like? Okay. What's the difference between that, and this? Okay. So have a good look, because they're the three possibilities that you're probably having a look at. And aim for the middle one, because it's crucial that you have flexible fingers and a flexible wrist. And if your arm is in the wrong place, then the connection between the wrist and the forearm, which is absolutely crucial in violin playing, is broken up. It's stopped. It's not being flexible anymore. It's like this. Okay, so another excellent bowing exercise, a bowing arm exercise to do, is quite a tricky little one. So the idea is to control the bow and do it with quite a lot of speed in the bowing arm, and try to make the note at the heel and the tip sound exactly the same. I think my tip one sounds a little bit weaker, so let me have another go at that. Now that is a fantastic alternative to practicing. Instead of doing long bows that are all connected and filled in, only the beginning and end of that stroke exist and the rest is empty, and it's filled with an arm movement. That is one of the best things to get your arm working in the correct way. Oops. It's very, very difficult to put to control how to put the bow down without a lot of that. Okay. So another way to have a look at your bowing arm, and the thing is, you're not really concentrating on the contact point here. You're not listening to the sound really. Your awareness is all on what's happening here, the movement, the position of your elbow really, and whether your upper arm is playing a healthy part in following what the forearm is doing. If you think about the forearm leading everything, and if the upper arm is a bit shy and it's see if you can start noticing that, and just allow the upper arm to take part in the stroke in a healthy way. I hope I get better at that. So one more exercise for you that's incredibly good, and it's actually just starts at the heel and it's pretty freeing, okay? And then let everything go right out, extend right out, extend your arm right out, and then back again, like that. Now notice it's very easy to open the whole body out. Notice how my violin's moving as well. It's a fantastic exercise to allow your arm to start moving freely if it's tight anywhere. Okay? Just do that. It's incredibly good for you. Move your awareness to the actual arm and see if there's anything in it that's stopping the flexibility or the actual movement. And look in front of a mirror and have a look at your angles and see if they look good. You know, that's not really a great look. That's better. Okay, that's too much. So it's pretty simple, you know, but if there's a favourite violinist of yours and you love watching them on YouTube, and you start copying them, please remember that everyone's body is different. Everyone has different reasons for the type of bowing that they use. For example, I don't use a lot of bowing in my pieces because of a back injury, so I use less bow, because then I've got a bit more durability to play for a bit longer. So that's fine, you know, you have to adapt to what is going on with you. But you can say, yes, it's individual, but that's not a good idea. Do you see what I mean? So there are certain things where it is universal, but you do have to adapt it to yourself. And that's why being able to change your focus and being able to look at different parts of your body as it's doing things is the way to go, the way to have a lot of progress. So I'll leave it there and I'll say bye-bye. Bye.